Formula One, the movie, feels like it was directed by the same guy that did Top Gun Maverick, and that's because it was directed by the same guy that did Top Gun Maverick. Who knew? Directed by Joseph Kosinski, Formula One, the movie retreads many narrative threads present in Top Gun Maverick. Both of those films follow an expert at his vehicular craft who, for better or for worse, is a risk-taking daredevil that flouts the rules and proves to a talented yet inexperienced younger generation why he is a pro at that said vehicular craft to begin with. Get wrecked, kids. In Top Gun Maverick, this involved a protagonist played by Tom Cruise who piloted fighter jets, but in Formula One, the movie, our grizzled rebel bad boy is Brad Pitt's Sonny Hayes, a race car driver who moves from league to league and has experienced success in some capacity, with the exception of Formula One, a racing league that Sonny had participated in and was even advertised to be the next Formula One prodigy in the waiting when he was younger, but quit after a horrific accident, leaving the league without ever winning a Formula One race. Fast forward many years, and Sonny is roped back into a Formula One gig at the behest of Javier Bardem's Ruben Cervantes, an old friend that Sonny has a past working relationship with. See, Ruben runs his own Formula One team, yet he hasn't won a race in nearly 3 seasons, and if he were to finish that in-progress 3rd season without ever winning a race, Ruben's investors would force him to sell the team, which is something that should occur in many other pro sports leagues, because after many decades of pain and humiliation, just imagine the McCaskies being forced to sell the Chicago Bears. That or just give us a mercy killing, dear fucking God. Hence, why Ruben convinces Sonny to join his team for that reason, as well as to help Sonny fulfill a dream of winning a Formula One race. Formula One, the movie, is very good. I know I joked about the film's commonalities with Top Gun Maverick, but that's not really much of a problem with the movie itself. After all, Top Gun Maverick was a fun summer blockbuster, and Formula One, the movie, replicates numerous elements that worked in Top Gun Maverick back into this movie. Starting with the characterization, Sonny is a likable presence because he's a dangerous and rebellious rulebender that even disobeys orders from his own racing team, but also has the talent behind the wheel to back up his bluster, pulling off maneuvers that most drivers wouldn't get away with, as well as putting unconventional yet effective tactics in play. And that's just flat out fun to watch as a cinema-going experience. I mean, come on, a character that breaks rules and has a personality that exists right on the precipice of disaster is just an engaging protagonist to follow that also drives some strong character development, which all just spawns humorous character interactions and dramatic tension in equal measure, considering that Sonny's abrasive driving style and overall personal attitude simultaneously earns him respect as well as scorn even from members of his own team, Ruben being one of them, which is narratively interesting because Ruben trusts Sonny's racing expertise, which is why Ruben hired him, but he also isn't all in on some of Sonny's stunts because they portray the team and the brand under an unflattering lens, even though when Ruben hired Sonny, quality racing and Sonny's bullshit was a package deal, which just creates a fascinating character dynamic between the two. However, the most important character-based relationship is between Sonny and Damson Idris's Joshua Pierce, a young and exceptionally talented driver with an ego that matches the fiery, youthful spirit that Sonny embodied when he was younger. Complicating things, Joshua is also Sonny's teammate, because yes, Formula One is a team sport, meaning that these two hot-headed personalities must cooperate together, albeit very reluctantly. And this is terrific character-based drama as the duo attempt to reconcile their differences and see where they're both coming from for the good of the team. As stated earlier, it's strong character development. The final important character is Carrie Condon's Kate McKenna, the woman who designs Sonny's and Joshua's Formula One vehicles, as well as providing a potential romantic interest for Sonny, which would feel contrived in a lesser movie, but Pitt's and Condon's chemistry makes it work. Also, if Formula One the movie didn't feature any sexual tension, that'd be a grave mistake for a racing film. You know, because according to cinema history, cars make people horny. It's just a rock-hard fact. Speaking of cars, the racing sequences are exhilarating. The action moves at a fast pace as these steel death contraptions travel at speeds that would pulverize Bambi into a blood puddle, because Bambi would blend. If anything, the races just have a very cinematic quality about them. The roars of the engines rattle your eardrums, and there's always a sense of danger in these races, considering that risky maneuvers and equipment failure can cause crashes that can result in major injury or even death, meaning that Formula One the movie's actual vehicular mayhem is just astounding to watch. Yet, with that said, the races in this film do feature one major problem. In fact, Formula One the movie indulges in a sports movie no-no, which is to say, it relies on broadcast play-by-play announcers way too often for my liking. If anything, the film utilizes sportscasters to painstakingly inform the viewer of the stakes at hand and what's actively occurring in a given race, all to the point that it feels like unnatural over-description, becoming something altogether unrealistic. And look, I'm not saying a sports movie can't utilize television play-by-play guys to describe some of the action, because it can firmly plant the audience into a specific setting for a scene or sequence, but they shouldn't obnoxiously detail everything Sonny is doing and even what he's thinking, to the point that I wouldn't be surprised if the announcers were to shout into a microphone about Sonny's tactical approach to dropping a dirty-ass shit. I'd much prefer the film's characters inform us of the stakes and narrative rather than utilizing play-by-play as a crutch, because that would further emphasize the dimensions of the characters and give them a far more active stake in the narrative. It would have been better. Still, Formula 1 the movie is overall an enjoyable experience filled with many thrills as well as characters with fun interpersonal dynamics. It's a good movie, and one that I imagine that Formula 1 as a brand is very pleased with, because yes, this movie, while having its own fictional storyline, characters, action, and emotional beats, is technically also an advertisement for Formula 1. And for that, I hope Formula 1, the company, are happy with the end product, because I'd be game for a second Formula 1 the movie. Maybe call it Formula 2. Eh? I'm not sorry. So yeah, Formula 1 the movie is good, but that's also just my opinion. Please tell me your thoughts on Formula 1 the movie in the comments. Describe what you enjoyed and what you think could have been better, as well as if you would have any interest in seeing a sequel. Also, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, as that helps my videos and my channel a ton. See you on the next one. Bye!